one is on if I talk, this will happen. If I talk, ask Okorocha and those the saying, if I talk, and Governor Musu, ask them, what is it you want to say? Is it not that Jubril is not Buhari? That's what they want to say. Do you see how the zoo works? Okorocha is hoping to leverage on the fact that he knows Buhari is dead to blackmail APC to make his son-in-law the governor. When Oshomole said, no, I will not do it, he said, if you push me, I will talk. That is the zoo for you. And when I call them a zoo, they start getting upset. I am the only person that had the guts to tell the whole world. I was in my father's compound when I said it. That Jubril is fake. I said it before anybody else knew. I know his name. I know what he does. I know that they recruited him. Sometimes they wonder how I know. I cannot run a worldwide organization without having people in Aso Rock that give me information. That means I'm stupid. I have people inside Aso Rock that give me information. If they don't know, let me tell them now. The day Buhari died, I know. Do you know that Buhari's aircraft made a stopover in Casablanca to pick up a life support machine? You don't know that, but I'm telling you now. Go and look at the log of Buhari's flight when it left the zoo. Ask them, they will tell you. They left the zoo on around the 17th or 18th, in fact on the 18th. I was in court on the 17th, he saw me, he collapsed and he died. Just merely looking at me, Buhari won. That he would die and he died. They made a stopover in Casablanca in Morocco to pick up a life support machine because the Dulad of Daura stopped breathing. By the time he got to London, he was virtually declared brain dead. I have all the facts and figures, and I'm giving it to you tonight. Only me could have said it. The case of Jubril is an international conspiracy of immense proportions. Even Igbo politicians are among them. Igbo, Yoruba, Igbo, Awusa. Do you know what they said? Okay, if we agree that Jubril is not Buhari, Nnamdi Kanu would have won. The zoo will collapse and Biafra will come. That's why they said, no, let's not give him the credit. But Elohim sent me, not man. Elohim said I should come and I came. That light may come where once there was darkness. That is why we do what we do. Without fear before anybody. If Zoo was strong, why didn't they come one after the other? Than sending a platoon of soldiers and armored tanks, Air Force jets to come to my house to bomb me. Cowards there. We must continue. Sultan of Sokoto, Bukola Saraki, Rochas Okora Wosa, all of them can testify that Buhari is long dead and replaced by that thing from Sudan. This is an open season of blackmail. We shall go through some of them now. Olushola Oke, you know him. He's an APC chieftain from Ondo State. Is there anybody from Ondo State who doesn't know Olushola Oke? You know him. APC should not force me to talk. Oh, that's what he's saying. Talk about what? Are you going to talk about NEPA, electricity, or is it water? Or is it about Ajokuta steel mill? What are you going to talk about, if not Jubril? Roger Sokrocha said, if I talk, Aso Rock will be burnt down by Nigerians. Why is it that we have journalists who prefer to write junk rather than going to Okrocha and asking him, do a bit of investigative journalism? What is that thing that what is it that you want to say that will make us go and burn down Aso Rock? And Okrocha will tell you that Jubril is not Buhari. You know Governor Musu of Lagos State. If APC pushes me, I will talk. Go and ask these three people what they mean by that, and then they will tell you that Buhari is long dead and Jubril is an impostor from Sudan. I gave some of you assignment last week to do. I read on social media, Even on Hafia is on 102.1 this evening. The whole world is vibrating. But they went and paid the Sun newspaper to write rubbish. We have, what is it? We have harvested. We have harvested. Kebana Abuja. We have harvested radio Biafra frequencies. Leona Abuki. I'm a Biafran. I am Igbo. I am intelligent, more than all of you put together. So how do you think you can defeat me? It's not possible. You must know that. All the consultants you've been hiring all over the world, have they made any dent on what we are doing? The answer is no. So that should tell you something. I gave an assignment last week and very few people did it. This evening, in fact, I was so impressed by the accuracy of one of you that conducted a very detailed research into Jubril. We are going to go through it tonight. Don't go, I've not had any sip of water. I don't expect anybody to get bored. Are you people bored? This is Radio Biafra. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I must preach this very gospel. I have to. Buhari collapsed during my court case on the 17th of January 2017. Who got your hands and ask them? Elohim sent me a message. I was in prison. And said I must tell Buhari to let my people go. And we sent that message to him. Do you know what Elohim told me? That if Buhari hears my message, he will go deaf, dumb, he will collapse, he will never wake up again. I want to tell you this. I sent the message to Buhari and he got it. He collapsed. He was rushed immediately to London via Casablanca in Morocco. His presidential jet made a stopover. You know, that's so stupid. They don't know that every flight has a log. How do you think I found out Buhari was in Saudi Arabia? The presidential jet left London to Saudi Arabia. Osu Buhari. They don't know who they're playing with. I see things many years ahead before it happens. People say I'm a prophet. That's what I do. We must preach this gospel. In Casablanca, go and check the log of the presidential jet that Buhari took out of the zoo on the 9th, 17th, 18th of January. They picked up a life support machine in Casablanca. Buhari was put on a life support machine inside the presidential aircraft and flown to London. He got to London, he underwent brain surgery to remove a tumor and release the pressure on his brain. The surgery they were claiming was partly successful, but Buhari was too weak and was declared brain dead on the 20th of January 2017. I give you timeline and date. Where they are now, they are suffering from severe cold. Their bodies are shaking. I don't want to tell them if I have informants in the UK, but I want to tell the combination of DSS, intelligence agency in the zoo, everything you have in the zoo, you are not up to one IPOB intelligence officer, not one. All of you put together. Their wall must collapse tonight. The wall of fraud and deception. Buhari died. But to avoid the onset of rigor mortis, for those of you who are into medical sciences, to avoid the onset of rigor, he was placed still in oxygen tent, life support machine. The doctors did all they could to revive him, but nothing came of it. There was a picture taken of an emergency meeting of northern governors where El Rufai, that midget, that rabbit, was presiding. Go and look at their faces. It's an assignment, because if I give you everything, man, in this COG, all we do is to consume. We don't manufacture anything. I want some of you to go and do some research. Go and look for that picture. Where El Rufai and all the northern governors, we are looking as if all their mothers died at the same time. Please, you know we have multiple avenues through which and by which you can listen to Radio Biafra. You can join us on Facebook, as Ikechu have quite rightly announced earlier. We are on TuneIn, we are on Radio Biafra app, we are on IPOB.org, we are on radiobiafra.co. I will never forget, and how can I forget? You must all join us this very evening. Ensure that your relatives are listening, that your loved ones are listening. It doesn't matter the part of the world you're in, but you can contact them via whatever means of your choice. This is Radio Biafra. We welcome each and every one of you. We shall start the process of unmasking that very criminal in Aso Rock this very evening. This will be the radio version of it. As soon as our friends get here from the USA, we shall present to the television aspect of this expose on that very criminal in Aso Rock, Jubril Aminu al-Sudani. We will unmask them, we will let them bear, that the world may know that the damnable zoological republic is a fraud. Light must shine upon Biafra land. And there is nothing any man or woman can do about it. Because that is our mission, that is our purpose for existence, and we must accomplish it. Elohim is in charge and in control of what we do. I don't worship idol. Only Elohim. We must proceed, and before we do so, we must pray. I am a very prayerful person. So were my parents and their parents before them. We must worship the Most High. We must honor Chukwukikabiamapremi. Without his mercy and grace, we wouldn't be here today. The enemies would have killed me. I would have been assassinated by now and probably buried. But heaven said no, that it cannot happen, that the zoo must fall. I will watch the zoo fall. That is the promise that Elohim made to me, and I will live to fulfill it. We must pray wherever you are. Sometimes I want to pray in the language of heaven, Asusu. But they say we have listeners all over the world, therefore I must pray in a universal language. And I will pray in English.
London, I'm reaching.
For thee, O Elohim, you stand in the congregation of creation. You are the beginning and the very end, the author and the finisher of our faith. You created everything that was made. Nothing made you. Anetuokaka. Amama macha macha. Onyo bonani ya na chi Chukwukika biama purimi ihe niile. If you come close, you will know him. In truth and in spirit, we come before thee to hand over all our proceedings this very evening unto your loving care, that you may give us wisdom, give us understanding, and also help those who cannot help themselves in the damnable zoological republic. People are in bondage and they are dying. Their greatest affliction is ignorance. We ask the Holy One of Israel to give them common sense and understanding, that they may reason, that they may reconcile their plight to their senses this very evening and reject evil. Only thee, O Elohim, is the judge among every other judge, not minding the conspiratorial criminality of the zoo judiciary. Only you can judge justly. Only thee. Because there are men that judge unjustly in Nigeria. They only respect the counsel of the wicked because they are evil. But only thee, O Elohim, Chukwukika Abiyama, will judge the cause of we that are poor and fatherless. Because that's what we are. Nobody to help Biafra. There is nobody anywhere. But very soon all of that will change because we are in your holy land. I am in Israel. And your light will shine upon us once again as it did in the old. You will vindicate IPOB Elohim. You will vindicate us. Because our hands are clean. We don't do any evil. We come before thee with clean hands and a very clear conscience because we are afflicted and we are in need of our salvation, our freedom. Because those that we are in the zoo with, they do not understand. They walk in darkness. But tonight we shall shake the foundations of the zoo. Because Nigeria must fall. The same way the walls of Jericho fell apart in this part of the world, so shall all the evil binding the zoo together crumble tonight. We must preach this very gospel, I assure you. The gospel of redemption. The gospel of hope. And above all, of truth. We will preach it here. That all honor and glory may belong to the Most High. Those that we are surrounded with, they do not understand. For even Elohim himself has said, it is apportioned unto man, unto mortal flesh. One day they must die, as Jubril have passed on. Buhari has passed on and Jubril has replaced him. And one day the same Jubril shall also pass on. But the truth and the light that Biafra represents will last for an eternity. And this evening, O Heavenly Father, we call upon thee to rise up and judge very justly, because all the nations are yours. Biafra is yours, and you will protect Biafra, that your name may be exalted, that your name may be praised, that your name may reign over all of our lives in total submission unto your grace and your mercy forever and ever, we pray. He said, we welcome you wherever you are this very evening, as I said, from here. For some of you, it is your morning. For some, it is your afternoon. For some other people, it is your evening. Because the truth must be preached, and we must preach it tonight here. A lot has been written about IPOB and this very noble quest for the restoration of Biafra. But tonight, we must put the record straight. I am here to prove this very evening that a majority, I will not say all, a majority of the people in the damnable zoological republic are very gullible. They don't ask questions. Sometimes they even fail to reason properly. To ask ourselves this very evening, what are they hiding? For those of you who are close to the internet or have access to the internet or social media, I will implore you all this very evening to help yourselves by following what we are preaching tonight, because it will set you free. There are some questions we must answer, and hopefully tonight, during the course of this very address, we must answer them. IPOB family members, they follow this very gospel that I preach. And I said that that very thing there in Aso Rock is not Buhari, and that Buhari is dead. All the signs are there. Even when President Donald Trump gave us the hint, I don't want to see that lifeless. Said it. Most of you misunderstood what he was saying. He was trying to make it very clear to all and sundry that we do not reason properly, and that most of us are blind, because what is before us we cannot see. Tonight I shall attempt to prove with facts, evidence, and statistics that we black Africans sometimes, and especially some Nigerians, not Biafrans, are the most backward, unreasonable, and idiotic species of human beings on the face of the earth. I don't care if you get upset, but I tell you the truth. I don't feel sorry for myself. I don't blame the white man for my plight. I blame black stupidity in sub-Saharan Africa. That is why we are poor. That is why there is no electricity, no running water, no decent infrastructure, unemployment everywhere. Nothing seems to be functioning. We cannot keep blaming other people. The fault is from us, because we have failed to engage with that part of our brain that has something to do with reason and logic. Tonight, we shall cure that very anomaly. We shall fix it. I will use the issue of Jubril, the impostor from Sudan, pretending to be Buhari, to wake up the entirety of humanity to the deficiency in the reasoning capacity of black people in Africa. No apologies whatsoever. There is something wrong with us. Tonight we correct it. Live on Radio Biafra. We are transmitting to the whole world. I am going to demonstrate that a significant number of us, black Africans, are very primitive and backward and incapable of reasoning. I know I'm saying all of this. If Abba Kyari can go to Sudan and recruit somebody, bring them in with a little bit of silicon, can convince all of you that this very person who is now shorter is Buhari. This man who cannot speak Fulani indigenous language Fufuda is Buhari. This man whose hairline hasn't receded one bit is Buhari. This young man who is maximum 45 years old is Buhari. If you can believe that junk, then you are lower than an animal and not hackable. Means you cannot see. You are dumb and foolish. We are here to dispel all of that this very evening. Of course, there are a few reasonable people amongst us. I know. The whole of Africa cannot be stupid. There are reasonable ones amongst us. But I believe that their number is so insignificant that they hardly make any impact. They are the ones that actually feel sorry for. And Biafrans fall into that very category. We are live and direct on Radio Biafra. They said they have bought over our frequencies. They are lying. They are lying. We are live on FM. In Akwa Ibom, we are live on 102.1. Tonight in Akwa Ibom, if you tune in, you will hear and listen to my voice coming via Radio Biafra FM platform. Some people fell for their gimmick. We are on satellite, we are on Radio Biafra app, we're on tuning. Everywhere you go to, you will find this very program, and you should be able to listen to it. Those of you who can in urban areas, get out your loudspeakers and put it out. Place them on top of your cars, that your neighbors may partake in the blessing that is coming tonight. If you have not installed a satellite receiver for your village or your town where you come from or where you grew up, I suggest you do so immediately. We are shaking the foundations of the damnable zoological republic, the satanic edifice to corruption and evil. It must crumble before our eyes. Their cheap blackmail will not work. Their little lies and character assassination and innuendo will not work with us. The equals of everything that I say is that we're not going to vote. We're going to shock them next year during the presidential election. We're going to shock all of them, that they may know that we have come to restore Biafra. This very issue of imposing a foreigner, a fraud, and an unelected pretender to preside over the fate of 180 million people is the greatest tragedy before Africa. What Abba Kyari and the Fulani cabal have done with Jubril is the greatest insult any people can receive. It goes to show that those that are in Nigeria are not human beings, because they have eyes but they cannot see. They have ears but they are deaf to reason. It's only now that I have come to the realization that is something tragically wrong with our brain as black people. I assure you, there's something wrong somewhere. We must fix it. This historic fraud of Jubril was not perpetrated by Europeans. They are cheating everybody. They did this nonsense to bring in Jubril, so they can pillage and loot the treasury dry. That is why they keep passing budgets, but nothing is done with the money. Abba Kyari and his gang of cabals, including Sultan of Sokoto, they siphon the budget money. Nothing is done in the zoo, absolutely nothing. They are using this thing from Sudan, Jubril, under him, that they may steal all the money in the world and become billionaires like Dangote in the next 2 years, or their children. That is how they create billionaires overnight. A budget of a country belonging to 180 million people, allegedly, I hasten to add. What did they do with the 2015 budget? What did they do with the 2016 budget? How about 2017 and also 2018? Nothing, absolutely nothing. They're still everywhere dry. They claim they are fighting corruption when they themselves personify corruption, avarice, and greed. Name the 7 deadly sins, you find it in these hypocrites. All of them are hypocrites. Up! This joke from Sudan. He doesn't even look like Buhari. Why hasn't he addressed any live press conference? You know, where journalists can ask questions. Like, please tell us the part of Katsina you come from. Can you address us in Fulani language? No, he will never ever present himself because he's a fraud. No more Aisha beside the husband. Even Aisha Buhari went as far as saying, do not vote for him. But some of you will not listen because you're deaf and you're dumb. He claims he is Buhari. Simple, fulfilled, he cannot speak. He never meets the people. Only when it is all choreographed for him, pre-arranged and packaged. Suddenly, this man does not fall sick again. Somebody that had a major brain surgery. He had tumor growing in his brain, if some of you can remember, that was affecting his hearing. The late Buhari had brain tumor. How can somebody that underwent such complicated procedure, like brain surgery, had a sizable chunk of his brain removed, not require any clinical follow-up or examination after such a huge surgery? It's up to you. But they have medical doctors all over the place in Nigeria. Some of them are doctor, which means they have PhD in medicine. Ask any of them, ask any doctor near you. How is it possible that somebody can undergo a major brain surgery and never go for any follow-up after that? We must proceed. He doesn't fall sick again. This is a new, brighter, younger Buhari who doesn't feel the need to be seen with his wife anymore. Remember when, what is Buhari's daughter's name again? I used to tweet from Aso Rock. When was the last time Zara tweeted from Aso Rock? Not anymore.